Ok, hola a todos y todos, muchas gracias por estar el día de hoy con nosotros. Agradecemos mucho su presencia y estamos muy emocionados de estar con Simple Plan, que estará en el Festival Pulso GNP el próximo 12 de octubre. Creo que ya muchas y muchos de ustedes han estado en nuestras conferencias y ya saben la dinámica, pero para quienes no, les cuento que para las preguntas, por favor, escríbanmelo en el chat. Igual si alguien quiere que yo la diga o que les ayude con la traducción, también avísenme, para eso estoy aquí para ayudarles. Y pues nada más, ya saben, así poco a poco les iré dando la palabra y ahora ya voy a cambiar a inglés para poder platicar con Simple Plan, ¿ok? So, guys, I appreciate your time for being with us today. We are very excited to have you here in Mexico again for the Festival Pulso GNP in Querétaro. Is there anything that you would like to say before we start with the questions from my colleagues from the press?
Well, we're just super excited to get back to Mexico. Our fans in Mexico are absolutely incredible. We've always loved playing there, and it's always exciting for us to get back there and enjoy the food and the culture and everything that we love about this beautiful country. So we're excited.
And it's an amazing lineup, and we're just really proud to be a part of it. And yeah, really looking forward. It's one of the last shows of the year for us, so it's going to be a great one.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to start with the questions. Our first is from Antonio Garcia from El Parlante. Antonio, do you hear us?
Thank you very much, Adri.
Go
Hi,
ahead.
guys. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Good.
First of all, congrats for this presentation in Pulso GNP. I'm going to say the question in Spanish for the journalist and then in English for you, okay?
Good.
Primero que nada, ¿qué significa para ustedes el título Harder Than It Looks? ¿Y qué creen que refleja con precisión la realidad de ser una banda de rock después de tantos años? What does the title Harder Than It Looks mean to you? And do you think it accurately reflects the reality of being a rock band after so many years?
Let's
Take the questions.
It's a good question. I think the album, we wanted to make a kind of a funny comment about how sometimes from the outside it can appear to be like, oh, it's such an easy job to be in a band. But to keep a band together and to keep a career going on for 25 years like we have, there's lots of hard work that goes on behind the scene, and there's there's so much that goes into it. And it's always a bit more difficult than what people I think perceive. But it was also a bit of a play on word as well, a bit of a joke. But yeah, so that was the idea, and that it takes lots of like talking with each other and just making sure that you can still stay friends and get along, and that you can, it's hard after many years to still make new music, make sure that your fans enjoy it, that it's relevant, that the show stays high energy and fun, but at the same time, when you love what you do, maybe it's not that hard. But it was kind of just a bit of a like a wink, a bit of a joke for the title,
Also, ¿cómo surgió la idea de versionar Can You Feel the Love Tonight? ¿Y cómo adaptaron una balada tan icónica al estilo de Simple Plan? How did the idea of covering Can You Feel the Love Tonight come about? And how did you adapt such an iconic ballad to Simple Plan style?
We've been playing, at Disney for a long time. It's sort of a thing that we've been doing, years for a very long time, and it's fun. It's always like such a cool gathering for us, and it's great. And Disney approached us with the idea of doing something with them on a more musical level, and we chose what we think is the coolest, song that we could adapt and make it Simple Planish, and that song was just such an iconic, such a really strong song that it was fun to do. It really turned out really good. We brought a lot of energy to it, but what a melody, what a great song, So yeah, very happy to be doing that stuff. It's sort of a fun spin, and it makes people kind of wait for new Simple Plan music in the meantime.
Yeah, the movie came out like, I think it's like 30 years ago this year, so it was a great big anniversary for the song, and we wanted to pick the song that everybody would know, like a song that was like one of the most famous Disney songs, a song that our fans grew up loving and that they're also playing for their kids nowadays, you know. So it just felt like you start the first few seconds of that song and everybody knows it, whether it's, you know, online or live or wherever you hear it, you know that song. And it felt like that was a challenge and to try to take that song and turn it into a pop punk song. But because the melody, like Jeff is saying, is so timeless, it can be in any style and it would work. But we're really proud of the version and it came out great. And the compilation album is really fun. There's lots of awesome bands on it as well. And it's been very well received by the pop punk fan and Disney fans. So I think we're realizing that there's lots of common fans between, you know, pop punk and Disney, I guess. So it's been really popular and doing really well. And we're stoked to be a part of it.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. And see you soon in Mexico City in Festival Pulso GNP.
Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias, Adri.
Gracias, Antonio. Thank you. So now I move on with Rafael from Mitoteros Show. Rafael, ¿me escuchas?
Hi guys. Sí, sí
Go
te escucho
ahead.
por allá. Hi guys, congratulations for all the years that you have. I actually have too many questions about you, but I want to know how is it going on? I want to know how is it the last tour that you have with Avril, and also I would like to know if you are going to play new songs in this set list on Pulso GNP, for example, this collaboration with Disney.
Well, the first part of your question, it's going super well. We're very excited to, you know, just have done an incredible year. We did a big tour in Europe. We did South America, Mexico, back to Europe, Australia, and so many more places. And it's kind of crazy to think that after 25 years of being together, how well the band is going and how big the shows are and how much our fans are still there for us. And it's been really, really an incredible ride. So the tour with Avril Lavigne was great. It sold out everywhere. And the response was absolutely incredible. We had a great time playing with her, which we hadn't seen her in a long time. We played a tour with her, a similar tour with her 21 years ago. So it was nice to kind of relive all those moments together, but 21 years later. So that was super fun. As far as the show goes, I don't know how long we're playing, but we might play the Disney song. I don't know. Do you think we should play it?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a nice day.
It's always a debate, you know, if we add the Disney song, which song we take off? Is it Welcome to My Life? I'm just a kid. We
Yeah,
have to
yes, obviously,
difficult.
I'm just kidding. Yes, of course, it is a greatest show. I have opportunity to see you in too many times, and this was a big party. I also have to have a very big show here in Querétaro, and we would like to see you really, really so much.
That's going to be great. Thank you very much.
We love playing in
Thank you.
Mexico. It's always so crazy. It's fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Thank you. So now I will say the next question. This is from Guillermo from Rock Activist. His question is, you've been in many festivals in Mexico. How is your relationship with our country today?
Yeah, it's true that we have been over the last 2-3 years playing Mexico a lot. It was the first tour that we've done post-pandemic. We started out, we hadn't played any shows, I think. It was the first tour that we got back into it. So that was really special to be able to, after more than 2 years waiting to be able to play live, to come back and do that tour. And it was still at a time where, you know, like it was kind of nerve-wracking because we hadn't played in 2 years, but the Mexican crowds made us feel so welcome. And it just, you can tell they appreciate the shows and the band so much. And we're so grateful for that. So it was amazing. Then we came back and we did a bunch of other festivals as well. So it's been really, really fun to be able to play these kind of these bigger events, like with so many bands, and there's tons of great Mexican artists as well on the lineup. So it's really cool for us to discover different artists and to be able to be part of these huge lineups. and there's so many people as well. It's always a real blast, and I think that this festival is going to be exactly the same thing, if not bigger. So we're really excited to be a part of it and to be able to come back, and we're very grateful that we have that many fans that care about the band in Mexico, that we can be part of these really awesome festivals.
And when we were a baby band, you know, when we started out, it was always like a highlight to go to Mexico because the shows were just bigger and crazier and more energetic than anywhere else on the planet. So it just grew from there. But it's always been, you know, such a great love story between us and our fans in Mexico. You know, we love the food, we love going out, we love, you know, the tequila, we love everything about Mexico. Like it's just so much fun. So it's almost a holiday playing a show in your country.
Thank you. Now I'll move on with Arnulfo. He is from Síntesis Hidalgo. Arnulfo, please go ahead. And also, guys, this is for my colleagues from the press. Just we try to keep it, you know, to one question so we can give the opportunity to everybody who wants to ask something to the band. Okay, thank you.
Oh, behave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adri. Correct. I put it attention. Okay, you guys, nice to meet you. Okay, gentlemen, in this moment. So my first question for you guys is, with 25 years of survival at this moment, how is the group prepared to continue resisting the adversities of the times and the music industry?
That's interesting. It's a question we ask ourselves, you know, frequently as well. I think, you know what, I think this band has been, you know, we're high school friends. We're very, we have a strong bond together. I think what matters is that we keep being respectful to one another. We're respectful to the fans. We have a lot of wishes. We have a lot of things that we haven't achieved with this band that we still want to do. And luckily, the band keeps on growing with the years. You know, it's never been as good as it is now. It's motivating, it's stimulating, and people are coming to our shows to celebrate our entire catalog or career. So it's mostly fun and just like, you know, it's a great moment for the band. So, you know, we'll keep doing what we do for as long as people want to show up to the shows. We're having a great time doing it. It's really, really great.
It's interesting, but I have a last question. What do you think about the message without discourse in today's rock and roll stuff? Is rock, in the same question is rock really dead today?
Definitely not.
I mean, no, I think it's very alive. I think the message is, I mean, it's so specific, right? So every artist has something to say. So it's hard to say, like, I don't feel that we are attached to a specific movement that we have to talk about. We have our own voice and we can talk about whatever feels good for us. And every other artist is the same way. And I think as long as I mean, rock to me is a sound, is an attitude. And I think it's definitely still alive. I think a lot of the young artists today are pretty edgy. Yeah, so I think it's never going to go away, really.
I think it's exciting to see that there are new artists that are pushing the boundaries, that are like more extreme, and some are just basically expressing themselves through that sound. And as long as there will be new blood, you know, to kind of like push this genre or any genre around rock, I think it'll be healthy and it'll keep going. And the shows are growing. Like in the rock world, the shows are just getting bigger and bigger every year. So I think
it's interesting how people are actually coming back to rock bands and rock festivals. It feels like there's more than ever. Like when we go to Europe, there's a rock festival almost every day during the summer. It's insane. There's so many bands that are part of it. So many bands are way bigger than you realize when you go see a festival and you go, oh my God, they know every song. And I think that it's interesting because even like the younger generation, like the teenagers of today, they're going back and they're listening to bands from the early 2000s. And for them, it's like, it's funny. They'll say, oh, it's like classic rock, which is so weird for us to hear. But a lot of these bands have entered into like sort of like a big rock legacy type of movement, and people are discovering them, even though they were not even born when their first albums came out or whatever. So there's a big interest from this younger generation to go back in time and kind of, you know, discover lots of rock bands that were part of the same era that we were in or even before. So I think it's exciting. It's a good sign. It shows that the music still remains very relevant and interesting to new generations. So I hope that will keep going. That will inspire these young people to create their own bands and to create their own sounds and everything and keep rock alive.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I see you soon on October 12th, Mexico for sure, and rock on. See you soon.
You.
Thank you.
Gracias, señor.
Thank you, Adri.
Gracias, Arnulfo. Now I move on with Belén. She's from El Sol de México newspaper. Belén.
Thank you. Hello, guys. It's so nice speaking with you. First of all, of course, congratulations for coming back to Mexico. I would like to ask you about your upcoming projects, your upcoming musical projects. If you're, first of all, knowing if you're working on a new album, on new music, and what would you like to speak about in this new music? Because I remember when I was younger, you spoke about a lot of some mental health issues. All of your songs were part of a generation, but now this generation is all grown up like I am. And so what would you like to speak about in this new music?
I think what's interesting is that all the struggles that we talked about in the, earlier albums, I think that they're still relevant, whether you're 10, 12, 14, or 25, or 35, or 40 years old. So I think that we like to write songs that give people hope. And sometimes those songs can be about a good time, or could be about a struggle or something difficult you're going through. So I think that's going to be sort of the direction that we always keep going towards. And I think some people might look at that and think that, having problems is a teenage thing. But once you become an adult, I think that we all know that there's many more responsibilities and more problems and more stress and more anxiety.
Being a teenager was easy.
Yeah, and having kids is harder than being a kid, So I think we have lots of things to talk about that may feel, relatable to people of all ages. Because I look at songs like Perfect, who was a song about talking to your dad about how you feel like you're not good enough. Well, I still can relate to that song now as a parent. So, like I said, I think that we like to write songs that give people hope, that that provide them a source of entertainment, of feeling better about themselves or just about life in general. So we're going to keep going that direction.
I think the key for us has always been to be honest and personal and talk about our lives and try to share how we're feeling. And when you do that, and when I think it comes across and people can feel it's genuine and it's heartfelt, it's real, and that's when they can really relate to the music. So I think that's what we're going to keep doing. As far as starting new music, we've been, since the pandemic, we haven't stopped touring. It's been really, I think, the most, some of the busiest years we've had since the beginning of the band. So we haven't really sat down to start a new record, but definitely it's something that we know that we're going to have to focus on very soon. And we're excited about it. I think it's the way that where the band is at right now, it's like this amazing moment where we're very proud of our past and everything that we've done and the songs that we've created, but we're also even more excited about the future and what's coming. So it's going to be cool to see what we come up with.
Thank you.
Gracias, Belén. Now I move on with Bárbara from Eufónico. Bárbara?
Thanks, Adri. Hi, guys. It's a big pleasure to talk to you today. I'm so excited that you're coming back from Mexico very soon for this festival. And after all these years, has been an amazing and legendary songs that you give to us as part of the soundtracks of many of our lives. Well, the question is to know for the people and also for the journalists, what has been the most memorable concert that you have given in Mexico? What has been the most memorable that you remember?
I think for me, it was one of the first times we came to Mexico.
Club 21.
Yeah, Club 21. We used to play this club back in the day in Mexico City, and I just never realized how our music had gotten to Mexico, and how a band from Canada that grew up in Montreal that we would travel to Mexico and see all these fans that were so passionate about the music, and it was one of the most energetic crowds we had ever seen. And I remember just like the picture of what it looks like in my mind, all these people, you know, the second floor, the first floor, and it's just like the fact that those moments for me, the first times we were in Mexico, seeing that energy, seeing that devotion of fans and how much the concert meant to the fans there was really mind-blowing to me. So I don't want to sound like I'm being too cheesy here, but our first shows in Mexico is one of my favorite moments I can ever remember.
I remember that show as well. It was also pretty cool to come back right after the pandemic and have our first show in Mexico.
That big festival, Tecate.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Monterrey, right?
Yeah,
That was incredible.
Al norte.
It was very nerve-wracking because we hadn't
Tecate
played.
Pal Norte.
See,
Yes, that's it.
Sí.
That's, look at you.
Got it.
So it was just like crazy, you know, coming back to that after like being, you know, secluded for like, you know, 2 years because of the pandemic. So it was just crazy. It was just so much energy, and I was like,
Tijuana was
I can
really
get
cool
used
too,
to this.
Yeah, we played a festival in Tijuana. That was amazing.
Oh,
Like
God, yeah.
recently, I think maybe 6 months ago or a year or last year. That was awesome. And I think also there's a venue in Mexico City that we got to play very often. Pepsi, what is it? It's like
Pepsi Center.
Yeah.
Center.
played there so many times, and we sold that place out. And like when you look out, I think it's what's 7,000 tickets. Like it's crazy. It's massive, and that we have all these fans that keep coming back and seeing us. It's a real privilege that we were able to build that kind of career in Mexico, and we're very grateful for all the fans.
Well, I think that I'm speaking for everyone that we're always ready for Simple Plan, and we're always super happy to have you here. And
Thank
just another quick question. What are your expectations to be part of the Pulso and to see many generations as part of the crown?
I can't wait to see the Killers personally. It's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. We're
I've
big
never
fans
seen
of
them
the
live,
band.
have you?
I've never seen them ever before.
I
So-
saw them one time in Vegas. They were amazing. So you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I think it's gonna be massive. I think it's probably gonna be one of the biggest shows we ever played in Mexico with that kind of lineup, and so we're very excited to be a part of it. I think we're gonna have. I'm curious to see, because it's a bit of a different lineup. I hope that a lot of our fans show up, but I don't know. I feel pretty confident that there's gonna be a lot of Simple Plan fans there.
Well, I know that it's going to be
Confident.
a wonderful, wonderful time with you on the stage, and so excited to see you. And well, see you on the 12th of October. Thank you so much. And what a big pleasure to be with you today. Thank you so
Thank
much. Gracias, Adri, and see you there.
Gracias. Now we move on with Rodrigo Núñez from Locura FM 104.9. Rodrigo, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, aquí escuchamos bien.
Adelante.
Hello guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I know you have many years on stages, stadiums, and well, what do you feel? How do you feel about having gone through generations? When you started, we were teenagers, and now we're parents and carry on our children to see you and put together this family, join your concerts, your music. And what can you say to these teenagers that are now listening to your music?
I think it just shows the power of music and how timeless it can be, and how when you write a good song and it's you pour your heart into it, it doesn't matter when it comes out, when it came out. I think people can relate to it years later. And I think I'm very proud that we seem to have become one of those bands that parents play for their kids, and that, that's really special that our fans have stuck with us for that long. I think it's the ultimate compliment for a band when you're able to kind of sustain your fans and create new ones and have people discover you years later. I think it's the ultimate goal as a band. So it feels very special. And when I look in the crowd and I see like families now, and I see like these little kids in the front row, like it feels like, oh man, like we might have to keep going for another 25 years. Like, I mean, it feels amazing to know that this band is like, we're not done yet. We got so much more to look forward to, and so many people. What's the most exciting is that so many people, they come to the show and it's still 25 years into our career, it's their first time seeing us. And we get to have the privilege of making a first impression again to so many people that have never seen us before. And I think that's really magical and special, and makes you want to put on the best show you can, because sometimes there's 90% of the people that have never seen you before. And they've been waiting like 5, 10, 15, 20 years to finally be at that show. And then you get to play for them. And I think that keeps every show so exciting and special, because we know that all these people have been waiting for that long. So it's a very nice feeling.
Well, thank you very much, and we appreciate your performance, and we're waiting for it now here in Querétaro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gracias. Now I move on with Luna from the radio station Match 97.9. Luna, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, Oli.
Adelante.
Hi. Thank you. We are so excited to have you here in a festival, but which is the main difference between performing at festivals from your regular show, and what energy do you hope to share at your fans with this show in Querétaro?
The main difference is that the stage is bigger, so we have to run around a lot more, on those big festivals. I mean, to us, it's like we play the best show we can, all the time. It's obviously, very flattering to have that many people in front of us, and we're very grateful for that.
I think it's also a challenge, because when you play your headline show, you know that everybody who's there loves the band, knows every single song, has been waiting for this moment. When you play to a festival with so many different bands and different styles of music, there's some people that maybe heard of you, maybe never heard of you, and you got to win them over. So I think that makes you want to play harder, and makes you want to try to convert people into like, oh, I heard of this band, into like, oh, now I'm a fan. I just saw their show and it was so good, I have to go home and listen to their records. And, so I think we see it as a bit of a challenge, where it can be really fun to have the chance to play to people that maybe never heard your music before, and try to put on a good show to get them into it and get them to have a great night, even though they might not be as familiar with the band. So yeah, it's cool.
Well, thank you so much, and we hope for your best here in Querétaro as always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias, Luna. Now I move on with Jeff Camacho from the radio station EXA 99.1. Jeff.
Hola, Adri, gracias. Oye,
Hola,
primero
adelante.
pensé que no se había mandado mi mensaje y lo mandé otra vez, pero bueno, otra historia. Okay, yeah. So, guys, hi, I'm so excited. I guess we are so beyond the point of saying we're excited to have you here in Mexico. We are so nervous, all people here in this press conference. But I gotta say, I have a question for you as, how can I put it? An amateur musician for you. When was this time? Now you're an international band, but when was this time when you, before all the world tours, all the fame, when you looked at each other and said, okay, guys, this is big. We are not anymore a local band. We are something bigger. We are getting somewhere only a few bands can get, and this is real. I want to ask you this because it's so important for bands that are starting in this business, in this music business, that they don't know when to say, okay, this is getting somewhere, and move on. Well, no, move on. Keep going in this way. This is a question I wanted to ask you guys.
I was gonna say when we played Giant Stadium, but maybe we should say something different. Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, I think you have to celebrate every single victory when you start as a band. You have to be grateful, and you have to be ambitious and keep going, as you were saying, So every single thing that you achieve is a stepping stone for the next one. So I think there was no single moment for us that was just like, okay, we made it. it was just like a bunch of little victories here and there. And even to this day, you know, when we play larger halls in certain countries, we're like, holy shit, it keeps on getting bigger. You know, we just played shows in Brazil that were the biggest in our career. And I think we were pinching ourselves and we couldn't believe, you know, how big it got and how bigger it was than the last tour that we did. So I think, you know, as a band, you have to be, you know, strategic, you have to be like ambitious, you have to dream big. And also, as I said, we are never really great at celebrating those milestones in our career. A little better now, but I think it's important to be grateful. You know, like every single little steps matter. And remember that playing music for a living or playing music for other people is a gift. It's something that's beautiful, you know, and I feel very fortunate to be doing that. I can't believe it's my job. It's crazy. I play music for other people. I make them happy. I see the smiles in front of me. I'm just very grateful for that.
There's one moment that I can remember. We were in Toronto. We were making our first record, and it wasn't out yet, so nobody really knew us. It was back in Napster's days when people would like download the songs. And we were playing a show. We were first on like at 1 p.m. and there was a little part where we stopped playing, and it's the first time we heard the crowd singing the words. And we couldn't believe that the record wasn't even out yet. We didn't have any songs on the radio or anything, but people had discovered us somehow in the local like Toronto scene, and they knew the words. And like there was maybe 100 people in front that were singing the words. I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna go somewhere. Like there's a chance for this band. We're gonna do something special. That's the first time I really felt it.
Okay, I had problems with the microphone, so sorry for this pause. But thank you guys. Now that you mentioned that some great answers, sorry, and thanks a lot for that. We are so grateful to have you here in Querétaro this next month, and we'll be looking forward to see you guys. And thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Now I move on with Jacqueline from Glitch, Querétaro. Jacqueline. Jacqueline, ¿estás todavía por aquí?
Hola. Sí, aquí estoy.
Adelante, por favor.
Okay, hi. First of all, I'm Jackie, and well, my question is for you guys is that first of all, we're very excited to have you guys here in Querétaro. Second, for you guys, how difficult do you think it's gonna be to like make a set list for a festival that's usually like a presentation of 30 to 60-ish hits? Because you guys have a lot of hits.
Yeah, we're gonna check how long we play. We don't remember.
But it's always really hard.
1 hour. It's always hard.
1 hour.
1 hour.
60 minutes.
To try to squeeze all the songs that people want to hear, all the songs that we want to play into like a 45-minute or 1 hour or 30 minutes. It's like, it's even a headliner, like you know, when we do our own shows, it's hard. We have to choose, and it's always a bit of like a bummer when you read like, oh, please play this song tonight, and you're like, oh, we're not, you know, like we're not gonna play that one, or after the show, like, oh, you didn't play this one. And it's always like feels so bad, and you wish you could play every single song. But yeah, it's hard, especially at a festival, because you kind of have to like, you know, think about, okay, what are the songs that the most people will know, but at the same time, what songs are we excited to be playing these days, and like the new records and all that. So it's a bit of a puzzle. But I think you know, we talk about it a lot. We go back and forth. We change things. We really try to fine tune the set list with every show. Like we talk about it afterwards, and we're like, oh, we could replace it. We could move that. We could do this. We could play this song instead. There's lots of conversation on text and in person, after shows, before shows. And I think we do pretty well in general. Fans seem to be pretty happy with the choices that we make, but it's never perfect. You always wish you could play one more song for one fan that, you know, really wanted to hear that one.
Yeah, I think that's really true, since you have to kind of like balance or either juggle like the fan favorites or what we like to play on stage. So yeah, we're very excited again, and thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you.
Gracias, Jackie. Now I move on with Michelle Iniestra from Garmo Click. Michelle, ¿me escuchas?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good, how are you?
What's up, man?
Everything's okay. Thank you very much. First of all, you have been in Guadalajara and Monterrey and Mexico City. Now you're coming to a new city, which is in the middle of the country called Querétaro. I want to know, how excited are you about playing in a new venue with these great bands, not only from Mexico, but from all around the world? How excited are you?
I'm very excited to see a new place I've never been to, so I'm excited for that. As I said before, I'm really excited about seeing the Killers. It's a band that I really love. I enjoy a lot of their songs. We actually usually play a little bit of Mr. Brightside. We'll have to change that.
We're not going to be able to do that.
Cannot play it.
But that's going to be really exciting. So yeah, I'm excited to go to a new place. We've been to, like you said, many awesome cities in Mexico, and I love every single one of them. So I'm excited to discover a new place and some new culture.
Now you will be the headliners with Franz Ferdinand and the Killers and other great bands, not only from Mexico but from other places in the world. I want to know which Mexican bands you know and which one is your favorite, not only from the festival but in general. Which band with Mexican band is your favorite? Do you know if you know Mexican music? Of course, Mexican bands and rock bands, Mexican pop punk bands. There are several.
Yeah.
No, we had the chance to have a lot of bands that played with us when we go to Mexico, and honestly, I was always really impressed with the quality of the bands that we saw, like at the festivals and on our own shows. Like it's always cool to see how bands will take the influences from maybe the US or Canadian or like European bands and kind of change it to their own, create their own sound, create their own version of it. I think it's always very cool. So I'm looking forward to discovering new bands on that festival. Who should we see on that on the lineup? Like, who's the one that we have to go see?
There's a band called Nova, which is a little bit like electro pop, which is a pretty cool band. It's pop, but it's cool. And there's a band called Los Auténticos Decadentes, which is from Buenos Aires, Argentina, which is a happy band, not like Simple Plan. It is not punk, pop, rock. You know, it's like a little bit tropical music, but
nice.
they are a great band, and of course Franz Ferdinand and the Killers.
Awesome, thank you.
The festivals are a great opportunity to discover new bands. So we're musicians. We love listening to bands. So we will check out a lot of the music at that show.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys.
Gracias. Now I move on with Andrea from No Somos Ñoños. Andrea, ¿me escuchas?
Yes, thank you, Adri.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, first of all, I would like to thank you because your music helped me through different stages of my life, and I think that I'm speaking for a lot of people here. So my question is, if you guys could name 3 songs that you consider were the foundation for the band's success, which ones would they be?
Wow.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Perfect.
Welcome to My Life, perfect. And
I'm just a kid.
And I'm Just a Kid, maybe?
Well, you have to say I'm Just a Kid. It kind of, it's crazy what happened with I'm Just a Kid. That song kind of took a life of its own later, in our career because of social media. Yeah, but I mean, those songs are very important songs. And I'm
going to throw a curveball, and I'm going to say, like, this song saved my life. I think it kind of symbolizes the relationship that we have with our fans and that they have with our music. And I feel like we were able to sum it up in one song, how they feel and how we feel about playing these songs for them. So I think it was a bit later in our career, but I think that when our die-hard hardcore fans heard that song, it made them, I think, fall in love with Simple Plan even more, which has been amazing.
Good answer.
An astronaut too.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I move on with Carlos Segoviano from Pólvora. Carlos? Carlos, ¿me escuchas? Adelante.
I'm here. Thank you, Adri. Hi, guys. I'm a huge fan of you, and I have a question from the heart. What is the most important thing have you learned for your beginning until now, and what do you think of the transcendence of your music for the new generations? For example, I was born like a year after your beginning, and I know that even now there will be a whole generation that is about to know you, your music.
What we learn, right? That's the question. What do we learn throughout our?
And then what do you feel about the transcendence of music?
I think I'll go for myself. What I've learned is that it's really all about the fans, and
I agree.
Being able to like making sure that you respect them, that you treat them the way that you would want to be treated if you were a music fan, and never forgetting that, never forgetting where you came from, and never forgetting that at one point you didn't have any fans at all, and that they all matter, and that's because of them that you're still able to do this for a career, which has been amazing. And also that the band has brought you, at least for me, everything that's been amazing in my life came from being in this band, and it's all because of the fans. So I think you always have to remember that. I think that's the one thing I learned. It's the most important thing.
Thank you.
As far as the transcending, is that what how it transcend generation? I mean, again, like I said earlier, it's the coolest thing for us to know that new people are discovering our music, that we've always wanted to be heard. That was the goal from day one, was for people to hear this music, for the song that we wrote, that people around the world would hear them, would be able to connect with them, would be able to relate to them. And so that doesn't change today. Like the fact that we have this whole new generation of people that can listen and hear how we were feeling and hear what like all the emotion that we put into these songs. I think it's the greatest gift, and it's kind of like we get like a second departure of a career, like a second level, like a second chapter. I think it's really, really cool and exciting.
Thank you a lot for the time, and see you on the stage.
Thank you. Now I move on with Paulina Ordaz from Pop Click Querétaro. Paulina.
Gracias, Adri.
Adelante.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good, you?
Fine, fine. Paulina Ordaz from Pop Click. How they have tried to make a difference in the world with their music?
We've been trying to make people happy for 25 years. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, of course. And the another question, and what songs are we going to listen in this concert?
That's a secret. We tell you, we can't show up to the show.
Come on, guys.
We're gonna try to find the balance between playing the songs that everybody wants to hear, like the big song in our career, like Welcome to My Life and I'm Just a Kid and Perfect, but also mix it up with a bit deeper cuts that our super fans want to hear and love, and also some song from the new album, our most recent album that we've done. I think that's important to try to find that balance between all that, and it's kind of like a greatest hits set, but at the same time it's like we try to insert a few surprises, a few curveballs in there to keep people guessing and to keep them excited and surprised.
Thank you so much, guys, and I see you in Pulso GNP.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Are you guys okay if we give chance to a couple more questions?
Yeah, we have to leave pretty soon, though. If we can wrap it up quickly,
because we do have a show tonight.
Okay, so this will be the last question. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I move on with Irene from Alterno Monterrey. Irene.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hi, guys. My name is Irene Granja from Alterno Monterrey. I have a question. Have you seen your tours involved in Mexico over years? And how does performance at events like Pulso GNP feel different?
How did the show feel different compared to the rest of the world?
Like, how does performance at events like Pulso GNP feel different? Yes, like the other events you normally go.
It's going to be different. How? It's going to be the most amazing show we've ever played in our career.
We've been practicing on all the other countries before to make sure that we're ready for you.
See, the way that I see it is that we get better with every show that we play because we get more experience. So the show that's going to happen in 2 weeks will be our best show that we've ever played in our entire career. And then the next show will be the best one. So,
you know what?
So for a couple of weeks, you'll have the best Simple Plan show ever.
I think there's something special in Mexico with the passion of the fans. There is, like Jeff was saying that earlier, there is something
there's something spicy.
There's something
like the spice.
There's something exceptional about how the people are very excited about music. You can tell they love rock music. You can tell that it's like a very special moment for them to be at the show, that they don't take this for granted. They know that lots of bands don't necessarily always take the time to come and play Mexico. So when the bands that do, I think they make sure that you know how appreciative they are and how special this is for them. So I think we really feel that when we're on stage.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you guys for being with us today. Is there any, few last words that you would like to say before we finish the conference?
Well, I always like to mention that Mexico is one of our most incredible places to go for the band. All of our streaming, some of the biggest cities that have the biggest streaming is in Mexico. We have the most incredible fans there. So we feel like it's like Mexico is like one of our homes for us. We love going there, love seeing the fans. We feel so welcome there. We feel so accepted there. And like we've said before, the energy of the crowds in Mexico are top 5 in the world, at least. Maybe top 2, maybe top 1.
I want to say top 1.
Maybe top 1. Mexico, the fans are absolutely incredible, and we love playing there, and we'll always come back to see you. So we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. And then again, as long as you will have us forever.
Thank you.
Gracias. Thanks to all the fans for.
Thank you so much. We will see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for all the questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all
for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Pierce.